What's up, everybody? Monster Master Godzilla here, and I'm back doing the Star Wars-A-Thon. We're now up to Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Now, here we are, after they release Rogue One, they end up continuing the sequel trilogy with Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And this time it's you would think that it's probably going to be a remake of Empire Strikes Back, but it's not that. It wasn't the case. It's not a rehash of Empire Strikes Back, and I promise you that. And the Resistance are still in war against the Imperials, and Kylo Ren was still facing conflict, either choosing either be the good guy or the bad guy. Because in beginning he has his helmet, but then he ends up smashing it into pieces. And this time we actually get to see Supreme Leader Snoke, what he looks like physically in person. And he's not like gigantic like the hologram. It's only the hologram that made him gigantic. Kind of like the Emperor was gigantic in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, when the Emperor makes an appearance as a hologram. When he was talking to Darth Vader. And this time when we continued where the ending shows that Rey finally finds Luke Skywalker, who's now old, with a beard, long hair and a beard, and the blue lightsaber, which is actually Luke's lightsaber that he lost. He tries handing it to Luke, but then when he holds it, he ends up throwing it away, which that was a bit disappointing. Yeah, Luke was being secluded on the planet, and you thought he was going to be the one to train Rey, but he was being all stubborn and selfish in some ways. He ends up being reclusive on that planet, because and he actually finds out, and you end up finding out why he's so reclusive in that planet. And it turns out he tried to be a Jedi Master himself. He ended up trying to be a Jedi Master himself, but then when he took his nephew Ben into training, he sensed the dark future and tried to slay him, because knowing he has Skywalker genetics. Because the Skywalker family were cursed with the dark side after Anakin turned into the dark side. So Anakin feared that his nephew would do the same thing and try to kill him, which Kylo Ren did. And then we end up meeting up with. So when we got to see what Supreme Leader Snoke looks like in person, you would thought there was going to be a battle. But it turns out we found out he's actually more powerful than Darth Vader and the Emperor combined together. And so the biggest disappointment is that we never found out what is Supreme Leader Snoke until like Episode 9, which we'll find out later on. And so and Finn is still like a good person, still awesome person, along with Poe Dameron. They were awesome friendship and all that. And Captain Phasma, which was one of the characters who makes an appearance in Episode 7, which is the stormtrooper dressed in silver armor and a black cape, she ends up meeting her demise later on. And what's cool is that we actually see some writing creatures that were used for gambling, for racing, kind of like horse races. And then the coolest thing is that during the battle on the planet, and also one scariest thing is that General Leia ends up getting attacked, get blown up in her ship, and was seen floating in space. And but she saves herself because she was still strong in the Force. And also you'll also see that Han. You can also see that, and you can also see some moments where where Kylo Ren has a bit of a conflict in himself, because he sends his mother Leia, and he didn't want her to die. Didn't want to kill Leia, but ends up letting her live. So you can see that he has a bit of a conscience in him. So he definitely has a bit of a redeeming arc. And you thought that Rey's parents are going to be revealed in this one? No, they end up saving it for Episode 9, which we will get to later. And now, only thing that's bad in the final battle. So now in the final battle, Luke ends up. And the coolest thing is that in the film that Yoda makes a small cameo. Makes a small cameo in Force Ghost. And that was only a small cameo. And so they actually and so in the final battle, Luke spiritually goes after the planet that the Resistance was on, and he ends up meeting face to face with Kylo Ren. So a little history repeating itself a little, except it's not like Darth Vader. First it was Darth Vader and Anakin, who are father and son, while Kylo Ren and now in this one it's Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker, who are uncle and nephew, who are battling against each other. But now Luke ends up meeting his demise, being killed by Kylo Ren, and that was so Kylo Ren ends up being defeated again. Also, he ends up killing Supreme Leader Snoke, which making him Supreme Leader. So it's basically almost like what would happen if Luke. It's exactly like what would happen if Luke Skywalker killed Darth Vader and the Emperor, and he would have become the Emperor himself. But this time it was Ben Solo, also known as Kylo Ren, who becomes Supreme Leader of the First Order. So when he's Supreme Leader, you end up going after Luke, and so Luke ends up being defeated by Kylo Ren, and the Resistance eventually defeats him, and he ends up getting away. And the battle is not yet won. So this one, I will say, this one here gets up a lot of hate from the audiences, like mixed reactions. I mean, to me, it's not the worst I've seen, but I've seen movies that are way worse than this one. I mean, I've seen much better. I've seen movies that are way worse than this, and I've seen much better movies than this one. And I mean, if you wanted to watch this for entertainment, go for it. But if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you could either stay away from this, or just give it a watch. That's all up to you, folks. And that's all I have to say, everybody. And as always, stay awesome at Monster Masters. And next up, we'll be checking out Solo, a Star Wars story. And that's all I have to say, folks. And as always, stay awesome at Monster Masters and Star Wars fans. And I'll catch you later. Bye.